Hello, everybody. My name is Ed. I'm in my armchair, and the smoking lamp is lit. And guess what I'm smoking today? My favorite pipe. Look at this guy. It is a Dunhill Canadian. And lately, I've been smoking a few Canadians, Lavats. Just kind of by accident, because I have a bunch. But anyhow, I'm starting to like them a lot more. They just seem to smoke a little cooler. And just, yeah, I like them. Now, the Canadian is the oval shank. I don't know if you can tell this, but that's oval, not round. And of course, it's longer. It's still kind of a billiard type shape, little slight cant and everything, but longer. A lumberman. Wow, I cannot speak today, and I'm not drunk. I do not know. But you have lumberman, Lavats, and oh god. Anyway, the Lavat has the round shank, but still it's that long stem, and I really like them. Now, also while I have this pipe is because I'm going to be using it a little bit later in this video for something special. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? But wow, first, I do have to say something. I was outside today. It's hot. Yesterday and today. I live in southeastern Pennsylvania, above Philadelphia, close to the river, across from Trenton, New Jersey. And it was and is hazy. And they're telling me that is from the smoke of all the wildfires going on in Canada. That have got me thinking about the Canadian. I am really silly that way. But anyway, we're not near Canada. And to have the haze, the smoke, is just incredible. And I do hope those people in Canada, well, hope for the best, considering this. Hope that they are safe, because safety is the first thing to worry about. Then wow, just hopefully they don't have property damage and stuff. I feel for these guys. And of course, on our west coast, Wildfire had some close calls with the fires too. He is safe, last I heard. But wow, take care of yourself, Phil. Anyway, wanted to say that. Okay? Next thing, I guess this will be kind of oddages and endages. But Pipes and Tobak, Janez. I was so blessed to get his summer edition, Virginia Barriques, that he does every year. Mainly he does Christmas, but he presses it, ages stuff together to have something unique. And I've now had quite a few bowls of each. And I just want to say, wow, I truly enjoyed them. So thank you, Janez. And something else for me. Okay? I've been smoking pipes for a long time, as you know. Mainly, my favorite isn't English. But I have had many different types of tobacco. And tend to like them. But one thing that I've never really worried about, and I've been smoking again for a long time, is a summer, what I would prefer in the summer versus winter and stuff. I like my tobaccos all year round and never really worried about it. Oh, this is a nice summer blend. Never worried about that. Mainly Englishes, and I think they can just smoke them any time of the year, which I did. But these two things from Janez is the first time I was smoking these. This was after about the third or fourth bowl of each. But I was smoking them and I was realizing this is a summer blend, or can be. I can smoke them at a time I want, but to have a blend tobacco that I would say, oh, when it's summer, when it's really hot, and we are really hot here at times, I would prefer this. Never worried about it before. But these I can see as, when it's a hot day out, especially if it's not that hot, but I go outside rather than be in the air conditioned, I really like them. And I can see them. And a new chapter in my pipe smoking tobaccos. I guess live and learn. Well, the main topic today the 3-pipe problem. Sherlock Holmes, the red-headed lig. Let me read just a little. This was Watson talking to Sherlock Holmes. "What are you going to do then?" I asked. "To smoke," he answered. "It is quite a three-pipe problem, and I beg that you won't speak to me for 50 minutes. A three-pipe problem. Now, if you're not into Sherlock Holmes, excuse if you're not into Sherlock Holmes, you probably have still heard a three-pipe problem. And of course, if you are into Sherlock Holmes, you're familiar with it. But the three-pipe problem has been mentioned quite a lot. So you should be familiar with it. But what is it? In that quote, and this is weird, he says, "Do not speak to me for 50 minutes. That's meaning that he's going to be smoking each bowl for just a little over 15 minutes each. Incredible. How does that happen? Recently, most of you remember Paladin Piper? Pat had his slow smoke challenge. And these guys, YTPC members, were going over an hour. So how does it work out that Holmes, only need 50 minutes to smoke 3 pipes? So let's discuss a few things. 1, pipe. Sherlock only had a few pipes, but in those days, they were usually fairly small pipes, small bowls. That's why I brought this out. This is quite small. Let's see if I got something. Now, this one's actually a little bit bigger, but this is a Vown. So kind of the high end. But the thing is, this is a Dunhill. I do not know the age of it. Boy, I can't do stuff without talking. Oh, excuse me a second. What's going on, Doc? So, armchair, I have a 3-pipe problem. Oh, you have a 3-pipe problem. But I don't have enough tobacco. So can I get some from you? Oh, okay, I guess so. And also, we need some tobacco for, the captain. He's helping me out with this problem. So, the pipe itself will tend to have a relatively small bowl, or in those days, a typical bowl. But why? Now, one of the things I heard, well, of course, in the case of Holmes, those books and stories of his were from approximately 1890. Briar pipes actually were relatively new. Briar will be actually older because they haven't been cultivated as much. So you had a lot of good briar that people had, and you can have these small bowls. Also, I understanding that tobacco was relatively expensive at that time. So the pipe makers also had the smaller bowls because people didn't use as much tobacco. Now, according to the stories, Sherlock Holmes smoked a shag tobacco. This suggested fairly strong shag. But what you had in those days, London, probably almost every corner, there was a shop that sold tobacco. And my understanding is, one, you really, like us, cellaring tobacco, you bought it as you needed it because it was right there. So you could buy just a small amount of tobacco and smoke it. And Sherlock Holmes, according to the books, and I never caught on to this for a long time. And I read all of the Sherlock Holmes starting in high school. And I've reread them while I was in the Navy. Quite a few times I've read those. And you hear references of the tobacco being stored in a Persian slipper. And I never really thought about that. But then recently, in the last quite a few years, but still, and also in the Jeremy Brett, Sherlock Holmes, my favorite, you find out that the Persian slipper is a Persian slipper. They hung it by the mantelpiece, and the tobacco was put in the toe of the slipper. And it was completely open at the top. It was a slipper. That meant the tobacco was usually pretty well dried out. Unless it's brand new, but still won't take long to dry out of it. Just the whole top of this Persian slipper is open. So Sherlock Holmes, smaller bowls, drier tobacco, could be 15 minutes. That would be typical then. So yeah, there he is, smoking 3 bowls straight, and taking approximately 50 minutes to smoke all 3. I never really thought about that in those sense until, I guess, retired and didn't have anything else to do. Yes, I solved my 3-pipe problem. Very nice. So what was your 3-pipe problem? The problem was getting enough tobacco to have 3 pipes. The captain and I thank you. Anyway, Sherlock Holmes, a 3-pipe problem. Well, I hope you like this. And remember, if you can't like something like this, you're not going to get to heaven. So may your smoking lamp always be lit. Take care out there.